I have witnessed hundreds of deaths, and here is one death I will never forget. It was a Spanish-speaking only couple. They were in their 50s, they had 2 children, and the wife was caring for the husband. I had to use my telephone interpreter every time I visited, but I was there 2-3 times a week for months. I became very, very close and very, very in tune with the wife. So me and the wife became very, very close, and with the husband. But the husband was very ill, so I was there a lot trying to manage his symptoms and teach his wife how to manage his symptoms. It was very often that I even forgot the interpreter was there. Like, I forgot that there was a person interpreting for us, because her and I were so in sync. I feel like I could feel her, she could feel me. I feel like we understood each other through our eyes. It was wild. I would leave the house sometimes with my phone, which the interpreter was on, and then I would hear like a deep sigh. And then I'd remember that the interpreter was there, and that this poor interpreter had to like interpret all of this like very intense things that myself and the wife were talking about. Anyway, so there was this deep, deep, deep connection despite a language barrier. And when he was dying, the day of his death, I was actually there to witness him taking his last breath. And it was the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever experienced. And it's because when you're removed from the grief, like I'm not in the grief because I don't know, I don't love him like they love him, right? So even though I see their sadness, what I see more of is the love. So it like she was resting her head on his chest and speaking to him in Spanish and saying things in Spanish that I didn't understand for the most part. But I know that they were like sweet nothings and caring and loving. You could feel the love. His parents were there. Her parents were there. His parents were rubbing his head. Everyone was just around him saying wonderful, loving things and supporting this man as he took his last breath on earth. And for me, the hospice nurse, to be able to be there and to have the honor of just witnessing that is so overwhelming that it brings me to tears. Now, I don't usually cry in the house, but like I would go to my car and I could like weep. And it feels like not tears of sadness. It's like tears of overwhelm, tears of love, tears of joy almost, because it's so beautiful. I've witnessed people giving birth and witnessing babies, being born into the world. And I weep when I see that too. And it's basically the same feeling. When babies are born, I can weep from the beauty of it. And when someone takes their last breath, I can weep from the beauty of it. Anyway, just a little bit of a different perspective from a hospice nurse.